What's up, you guys? Man, this is College Ball Podcast, man. Appreciate all the love, all the support. I want to thank you guys for being here today. This is presented by Portal Prospect Productions. Thank you. And go ahead and like, comment, subscribe to the channel. Turn on that bell so you get notified every time I drop a video. Man. We got an exciting week of college football that we're going to get into. Week 13, we're getting down to the nitty gritty. Next week is going to be the real test. This week is a warm-up preview, get some things ironed out and everything like that. We got a big couple of matchups that we're going to discuss. But before we get to that, let's get to this Heisman ladder, man. All right, so the Heisman ladder is getting down to the nitty-gritty in the list. So I want you guys to understand that this list that we have here, it's forever moving, but we got locked in. So we're going to start down at the bottom at number 4 on the Heisman ladder, which is Dillon Gabriel at number 4, man. He had a solid week, but it was not enough. It's not enough to maintain the spot on the ladder. So then we move up, and we got Shedeur Sanders, man, at number 3. I think Shedeur Sanders definitely is up for consideration, seeing as he is really balling this year. He's really playing really well. Shout out to Cam Ward. Cam Ward, I just did that game. I didn't like that. So I definitely think that Cam Ward deserves just a mention. Of course, been in the race all year. That loss it hurts him a lot. It hurts him a lot. But as we see, Georgia Tech ain't even a bad team as everybody thought they was. They was undefeated at home, and that's where Miami lost to them at. But we're still on number 2. So number 2, we got Ashton Jeanty, man, from Boise State, man. Shout out to him. I think that he got a real shot at doing this, but I think he's gonna have to break that record. If he breaks the Barry Sanders record, it's gonna be tough to not give him this award. You wanna know why? Because number 1 is Travis Hunter, man. Playing both sides of the ball, dominating on both ends, sides of the ball, man. Playing really good, really dominant. Anybody that's saying he's not the best corner in the country, or they saying he's not the best receiver in the country, y'all crazy. Both. He both of those. So he the best player in the country. So whatever position he plays, when you're the best in the country, that means you're the best at that position you play. There's no, what are we talking about here? If you're telling me this is the best player in college football, that means he's the best on both sides. Playing 140 snaps, getting interceptions on one side, getting touchdowns on the other. What you want to talk about? What are we talking about? So Travis Hunter, to me, is the one. So that's the one right there. So Travis Hunter's number 1 on the Heisman ladder, man. We got to move on, though. Let's move on. Upset of the week. I'm picking this because this is a weird game, and Penn State, to me, I already said it. Minnesota over Penn State, man. I'm calling it. We'll call Minnesota over Penn State. Minnesota over Penn State. Yeah, that's a laugher for sure. I think that Penn State going to Minnesota at a 3:30 game. I've seen them lose this game several times, and it's going to be a little cold out there. I'm telling you now, this is the type of game Penn State loses. I almost called the upset against USC that one week. I'm calling it this week. I think this is where they're going to have their slip up. I think Minnesota might catch them slipping. Penn State seen as 11-point favorite. Over on this 45.5. Now listen, I'm going to take, like I told you, Minnesota winning the game. Take the over on that 45.5 though. Take the over on that. I think it's going to be a 28-24 type of a game today. I got Minnesota over there winning that game. So we're going to move on to our hot picks of the week. So we got one jumping at 12 o'clock. Top 5 teams battling it out in the Big Ten. We got Indiana traveling to Ohio State to take on the Buckeyes. Ohio State's seen as 10.5-point favorites. Lets you know how much they really respect Indiana. Indiana is really, I'm going to tell you this, Indiana will be stepping on business if they win today. But, due to competition, I just don't know. You can't get me to pick Ohio State to lose this game. I can't see them losing this. Due to competition that Indiana has played, but they've blown all of them out. So it's one of those where you did your job. Are you a really good football team? We're going to find out today. I can't pick it, but I'm going to tell you this. 10.5 points is way too many points. I say take the points. 52.5 is probably too low for this game. I think there's going to be a lot of points scored in this game. Take the over on that, and I'm going to take Ohio State to win the game. Man. Reason being is I just don't know about Indiana. They're going to let me know a lot about them today. Real talk. So, that's just what it is. So I got Ohio State. So we're gonna move on. Let's move on. Let's boogie woogie our way on down to BYU, number 14 BYU, going to Arizona State with a trip to the Big 12 championship game on the line. They're coming off a loss at Kansas last week, which we'll get into Kansas in a minute here. But they're coming off a loss to Kansas, which I predicted that. I said Kansas is a weird team. They'll come out. They really just have lost close games this year. If you go back and look at their schedule, the problem with them is they're not winning the close games, and they finally did against BYU last week. Because everybody tried to make it like BYU was unbeatable. And I told them, I said, no, I see flaws. I watched them play against Utah, and I seen some flaws. And so I knew upset was brewing and everything like that, man. So, yeah, let's pick this game, man. It's in Arizona. Arizona State has 3-point favorites. Over under is 49.5. I'm taking Arizona State because right now Arizona State, to me, they're hot, they're on fire, they got a high-powered offense, and I think BYU, I think the sails is taken out of the raft. I ain't gonna lie to you. I think the sails is taken out of the raft. They have had an amazing season, so do not get on here and slander BYU. They have had an amazing season, amazing time. I just think Arizona State is going to beat them. And take the over on the 49.5 for sure. Now we're going to boogie-woogie our way down to Lawrence. I lied. We're going to boogie-woogie our way down to Kansas City because they're playing at the Chiefs Stadium. So, my bad. They're playing at the Chiefs Stadium, man. So you got 16 Colorado traveling to Missouri to take on Kansas. Colorado seen as 3-point favorites, which lets me know they respect Kansas for real. They really do respect Kansas. And over-under is 59.5. This is going to be a lot of points scored in this game, I think, personally. I just think Colorado's on fire right now. I just don't see nobody. I don't see nobody in the Big 12 beating them. I think they see their goal and where they want to be at and where they're trying to get to. And I just don't think they're going to allow nobody to stop them getting there. I'm not going to lie to you. I think that's what's going to end up happening. Yeah. So I definitely got Colorado winning that game. Yeah. Got Colorado winning that game pretty, I think they covered, go over that 3 points. I think they'll win by probably 10 against Kansas. I think Kansas is a really good team, though. Real talk. Now, then we go to Army versus Notre Dame. And this is going to be played at Yankee Stadium. So it's basically a neutral field. Ain't nobody got home field. So the Army, number 19, who's 9-0, and Notre Dame, who is 9-1, who's number 6. Notre Dame seen as 14-point favorites. 45.5 is the point total. It's going to be a cold game tonight. Up there in New York, off that river. So I expect it to be a real physical game, a lot of running. Army and them just don't play enough people for me to pick them against, like, somebody like a Notre Dame. I feel like if Army toughen their schedule up, they will be prepared for these type of games, as you seen last week with Navy. I mean, they got ran out the building. I just don't think they play enough people to do that. I just don't think they play enough people to really pick them in a big spot like this. So I'm going to take Notre Dame. I say they cover the point spread. Notre Dame does. And 45.5 is not enough points. I think they go over that. So I'm going to take Notre Dame. And then you got Alabama traveling to Norman, Oklahoma to take on the Sooners. Alabama seen as 14-point favorites. 46.5 is the point total. I think this has a chance to get really ugly for Oklahoma. I'm hoping they got pride. But I'm going to take Alabama to clearly win this game. I think they cover the 14 points. And I think 46.5 is not enough. I think Alabama might put up 40-something on their own. And so, Oklahoma trying to get bowl eligible and all that. I just don't think they're going to do it tonight against Alabama. But it's going to be a tougher game. It's on the road, so got to give that credence. Got to give them respect in that fashion. But, I'm going to take Alabama to cover, go over the 46.5. All right? Them is my hot picks of the week. We just did upset of the week. We did the Heisman ladder. Lock in, tune in today. Big games all day. Appreciate all your love and support. I want to thank y'all for joining me today. This is College Ball Podcast presented by Porter Prospect Productions. Until next time, peace.